Welcome, welcome. Here we are again for another primetime episode of your favorite podcast, In the Taste Podcast. As always, I'm joined by my gracious cousin, Brian. I'm your host, Marquise. I hope everyone's doing well on this Monday morning or Monday afternoon, whatever day it is. Shit, I don't forget what day it is. But we're now entering the conference finals. Out of the West, Minnesota Thunder, Minnesota Wolves, OKC Thunder, and in the East, New York Knicks, and in the Indiana Pacers, which should make for some cinema, especially with the history out there out East with the Indiana Pacers and the Knicks. Long-standing rivals when it comes to the playoffs, for sure. It is also kind of exciting as I know my team has survived. Maybe some of you guys as well, but it is kind of crazy. Again, this is the second year in a row, if I'm not mistaken, that
Yeah, it's back to back.
we're getting back to back. We're getting a possible first time champion period with all four teams. So when it comes to the superstars and the rings that they have, so we have three franchises that are going to get their first ring ever potentially, and then the Knicks I think have two or one. They'll be there. I can't remember how many
And
they
then
have.
somebody, yeah,
Yeah,
three out of the four teams left will be their first
it'll be the
championship.
first championship,
hmm
and I can't remember have the Pacers even made a finals. I know the Wolves have not.
The NBA
NBA
finals,
finals. I don't think they have. I know they have ABA finals.
they were close with Reggie and them. That
Yeah,
Reggie run.
yeah.
I
So
don't.
I don't know. I'll have to if you pull it up, but I don't. There's two teams that I know for sure Minnesota hasn't made it to the finals. I think Indiana has made a finals run
Looking right now. I think they had.
because I think it's Sacramento Hornets, Minnesota.
2000. They played in the 2000
Oh,
NBA
against the
finals.
Spurs.
They had yep, they lost four. Nah, it was
Yeah, that was the first LA one though.
yeah, that was the 4-2 versus the Lakers.
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
was in
that's right. I
2000.
couldn't remember if it was Spurs or Lakers.
They had an appearance, but they ain't won.
Okay, so they've only been to one in the NBA. They've only been to one finals appearance, which is nice. But so we have two franchises. Well, one franchise that hasn't made one potentially, but we have four superstars that have not had a ring. Um, and it's. I mean, we're in for some interesting cinema if we can get it. I think the world wants to see Minnesota versus Knicks just because of the blockbuster trade. Obviously, my ties are in Minnesota. I want to see. I actually do really want to see Minnesota Knicks. I don't want to see Indiana, even though that is
I don't want to
the
see the Knicks in there.
basketball. The origins of basketball is there, but I really want to see Knicks Minnesota just because of Julius Randle has to go through New York, and New York and Cat has to go through Minnesota. So I think that'll make for some interesting TV.
I don't want to see that because I just don't want to deal with freaking New York Knicks fans.
I actually want to see that YN at number 5 deal with the New York fans.
No, it ain't him. It's just the fans,
The
period.
fans period suck, but yeah. But no. I think it would be funny to me to see Anthony Edwards treat New York fans the way he's treated, especially LA fans. I mean, he was pretty fair to the Golden State fans, um, but the LA fans, he treated them boys went around town talking all that junk. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
uh,
nah, I'm just don't want to. They
but
just they are almost as bad as Cowboys fans.
true.
That's how bad they are. And when it comes to being, don't get me wrong, they ride for their sports. I get it.
Yeah,
But y'all, what I've been seeing on social media, y'all have unnecessary. Y'all are doing
unnecessary.
some unnecessary ass shit, bro.
I mean, that's New York for you though. They are very unnecessary people. So, I mean, are they as they're not as bad as Philly fans? Philly fans, they win. They burn the whole city down.
But they talking. You didn't see the video of
I've seen,
the random Pacer
I've
fan
seen,
walking down. I
I've
sent you that,
seen, I've
bro.
seen.
They threw trash bags at the bro. On my mama, he might have got jumped, but like, ain't
You
no
gotta
way
fade
you
though.
about to just
You
you
gotta
got
fade everybody.
somebody.
Everybody, you
Hey,
gotta
look,
start swinging.
somebody got to
Women,
get slapped.
kids, Old
Somebody
men don't
getting
matter.
slapped, bro.
If
I'm
somebody
sorry.
get,
Somebody
you better
gotta
start
get
swinging
slapped, bro.
like a boy off of Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, you something like somebody gotta get slapped, bro. I know I'm gonna get jumped, but somebody getting slapped, bro. Ain't no way I'm just about to let you throw
Nah,
trash
I don't care
bags
how
at
many
me
is out
multiple
there. You're
times.
getting cracked.
Yeah. So you're getting
Nah, but
no.
hey, and not everyone's built like that. I mean, your
Facts.
last name, you know what your last name is. You know what my last name is. So we get busy. Uh,
Just
so, but
go ahead.
anyway, yeah, moving on. So, uh, we'll just start with the East real quick. Pacers, Knicks will have home court advantage, being the higher seed. So the first two
Hmm.
games they start on Wednesday. How do you feel? What's your takes? What do you think we're going to see in this upcoming series out of these?
I I think it's a goes. I think it goes six, maybe seven. As much as I don't want to see the Knicks fans in there, I think the Knicks do win it in six. If they go seven, it's maybe can lean towards the Pacers just because of how team oriented they are. But I just don't see. I think Hallie has to average like 25 or more, like in this series for them to like really win. Like that, those subtle small games where he was having like 18, but he got like 14, 15 assists. That's cool, but like the way Brunson is playing downhill attacking. And then you get those games where if Cat does put his mind to it to stop being a 3-point shooter and go get on that block and rebound like he's doing, and then you get Mikhail giving you 15 to 20, some games that, and you get OG giving you 15 to 20 as well, then you're gonna see like I don't think the
Yeah,
Pacers have enough for that. You know what I'm saying? Like Siakam's gonna give you in between 18 to 25. Miles Turner might give you in between 12 and 15. He might have a game where he does go crazy. Then you're looking at, okay, what is Hallie going to give you? What is Nimhard going to, the rest of them combining to counter that. But I just don't like Jalen's trying to go get 30 every game.
yeah, and I mean, we're getting a rematch of last year's second round, and I mean, I think we probably agree on this. This is the first team that's healthy that Indiana's gonna be facing.
Yeah.
This whole playoffs. I mean, even last year they if Boston definitely got benefited from injuries of stars, Indiana was the second next team behind them last year on benefiting from stars being hurt. But it happens. I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, we talked about it a little bit when it came to the Golden State series that Steph being out definitely obviously changes that series dynamic. Um,
Hmm.
and you have a two-time MVP, a Finals MVP, a four-time champion, and Steph Curry, the greatest shooter to ever exist at this point. Um, Obviously, that he gives you a chance to win that series. So, do I still
Exactly.
think it comes out the same way it came out? Sure. I mean, a lot of. I know we're talking about Knicks Pacers, but a lot of people are like, well, he went 13. He went 13 for 13 minutes. So, I'm like, who knows if he goes on a shooting slump out of nowhere? You don't know how that game turns out. So, but
You don't never know.
you
You
never
never
know.
know.
It's people have benefited all the time. Like you can't hate on it. It's a part of the game. Minnesota did what they're supposed to do. Indiana did what they're supposed to
Exactly.
do. It's
Everybody did handle their job accordingly.
right.
So there's always the what ifs because that's sports. It's always a what if this, what if that, what if such and such was healthy. Like
Yeah,
if we live by what ifs, we all be millionaires.
for sure. So I agree. Actually, I think the Knicks inked this out. Just because they pay at a different both the
They said
Milwaukee
they play old
series.
school ball, bro.
Yeah,
I
both
think
the
they play
Milwaukee
old
series and the
school.
Cleveland series did work out in Indiana's favor. Even though I was one that's saying like I think Milwaukee can win that, and I think and I had the Cleveland, but I know like after that first game I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
this
I
is
had
different than
Indiana
how
winning
I
that
thought it was
series.
gonna look.
Yeah, I had Indiana winning that series just because I think
That series,
Indiana
yeah.
match I think stride for stride, they matched up well. It was just gonna be who executes well.
The play style is
And
favored for Indiana there. So,
yeah.
whereas in this case, the way that New York plays, they slow the game down. They force you to play defense. Like
And they
Indiana's
play
played really
old
good
school
defense.
NBA, bro. They are
Yeah,
going. They are. They shoot threes, yes, but they're really looking at mid range down the
Mm-hmm.
all game long. You shooting three, and that's what killed Boston. Boston shoots nothing but threes, but here you go. If you're going to stretch where you're missing five, six, seven threes, and they're getting twos, it equals up
Yep.
because you miss five in a row, and they come down and hit four in a row. You just get
And a lot of long shots when they equate to long rebounds, it turns. It's really just a. It's really
easier
the.
fast break.
Yeah, it's a fast break. It's really like a turnover essentially. Like it truly is,
Yeah,
and that's what burned Boston. I just think they. I feel that they played better without Tatum,
I think they did. I think they did
and
too.
but I think they just kind of ran out of gas. And then didn't Brown go down a little bit too in that last game? I think he did.
I don't remember. I
And
didn't. I didn't catch a little bit of
I
it. He
think
might
something
have,
happened
but
with him, but it's unfortunate there. And so yeah, I got New York coming out. Very close, highly contested series. So all right, let's move
yeah,
on. Minnesota OKC. I'm just gonna let you know right now. I said it in the last episode. Not five. This many. 4 games.
yeah.
It's a wrap.
You got him for. I got him in. I got him in six.
It's a wrap. I think this is the best matchup for Minnesota that they're gonna have that they had this entire playoffs. Yes, Alex Crusoe is man. He's that boy D'ing up. Pause. that boy. Hey, when he guarded the best
Yeah,
player in the NBA. Joker is the best player in the NBA and has been for the last 4 or 5 years.
yeah.
And undersized completely, not just weight, height wise, everything. And man, he gave the Joker fits. When I
He
seen that the
did. He
Joker
did.
averaged 28 points for the series, I'm like, ooh, that's something.
It's definitely
I know he had
something.
some 40 balls in there, but he also had some 17s and I think he had an
Yeah, but
18.
I think 17, 18. He also had in those games though. He had high rebound, high assist totals.
Yeah.
But you gotta look at it like I ain't gonna lie to you.
The other guys weren't. Yeah.
Jamal was up and down,
Yep.
but then it hurts you. Gordon goes down.
Yep.
Gordon gets that hamstring strain. That hurts them a lot because he plays a big factor offensively and defensively for their offense. And then Michael Porter Jr., bro, you was better off just sitting out the whole entire series, bro.
Yeah, I believe so too. Because he was a nothing on defense, and then on offense,
And
he was.
then even though it was his non-shooting
You're still
hand,
lifting. You're still
shoulder,
lifting that.
you still like you're still not you still weren't being effective because he does attack the drive and closeouts and he wasn't just like
Yeah.
he wasn't himself either. So like it just instead of hurting your team, you was better off just not playing, bro. That's how I feel. But I got Wolves. I got Wolves in six. Like I think Shay and Jalen can get them. Shay, Jalen, and Chet when they're on, they can get them a game. Caruso play. Like I said,
That's the thing is.
if
That's the thing. You said if they're on, they
I
haven't
said
been
when they're
on
on,
this
but I'm
whole
thinking, I'm just
playoff.
saying is, yeah, but then look at it this way though. The Wolves come out shooting like they shot in that past series though
Yeah.
too. You're not getting away with that
No, not against that team.
because you're
I
not with
agree with
that.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Not with that team. So that's why I said it's a. If they come out shooting slow, you're gonna get them a chance because you know Shay live at that mid range.
Yeah. So, but I love the emergence of Julius Randle. He's I think he's finally found an alpha in his midst that's I know he's of the elk he's of the Kobe branch. I mean Kobe is RIP definitely gave him a nod years ago when he said he stopped playing like a light skin. I'll fuck Kobe up, say it in my face.
Hey, it was a wild
Yeah,
statement, but
wow, but he said he stopped playing like a light skin, which was crazy. I know he said it to not Hart. He said it to oh man, I can't remember.
either way,
Oh boy, he
his
plays for
statement is
Arizona or
crazy.
not for Arizona. He plays for the Jazz. Clark,
Are you talking about Jordan?
Jordan Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it to him too. But anyway, yeah,
Jordan does play like a light skin. He get
the
bucket thugs,
emergence
but
of Julius Randle. Like I said, I think he's got an alpha in his ear. A guy who has breathed life into his team. Who like of that MJ esque, like he's probably a hole in practice when it comes to pushing his teammates and getting his shoulders ready.
hmm
But he's constantly he's constantly big up in his teammates, making sure they get credit. And when they do lose, he's like, it's on me. It starts with me, it ends with me. But when they win, he's very much like, yeah,
The
Julius Randle
team,
played amazing.
right?
Conley,
He get
made some big shots. He's constantly like talking about the team.
he gives this team credit when
Yeah.
it's when
But you can
it
tell he's
takes
a
the
guy who
blame when they
demands a
lose.
lot. Like you can see it. He does it in a different way that MJ did. Obviously, he's probably not as much of an a hole because he is of the younger generation.
Yeah,
But you can
but
tell like he doesn't demand what he doesn't expect of himself, and the guys follow in line behind that, which is great to see from
exactly,
a 23-year-old. So
I agree.
this was fun, man. We're witnessing the arrival of potentially the face of the league. I know he doesn't want to be the face of the league, but
I'll say this:
you don't
this
need
is
it.
the MV. This is the battle of face of the league.
Yeah, yeah,
You
for sure.
have the MVP. Most
Mm-hmm.
likely, I think Shea does get
Yeah, I think
awarded
Shea got it. Yeah.
MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this start this play series, he'll get announced, and then you have the next upcoming dominant face of the league who don't want it, but he playing at that level to where
Yeah, and that
you
makes
gotta
the
give
best.
it to
In
him.
my opinion, that makes the best when you're just striving for greatness. You're not out here trying to be something other than the best.
Yeah,
It definitely makes for a great face, and he's just so fun. Like I don't think the being the face of the league is going to change him. Um, in the sense of like complete character change, it's going to mellow him out
yeah,
probably some, but I think he's still going to be
facts.
the A that he is, where he's outspoken. He's going to talk trash. He's going to do all the antics. He's
Yeah,
going to
he gonna
talk to the
enjoy
crowd. He's
himself.
going to enjoy himself. He's it's like a kid. Like he's truly a kid at play here. When it comes to the game of basketball, which is a breath of
Exactly.
fresh air. Like it's fun, and he's serious. Like when it comes down to crunch time, he's showing up. So I'm excited about the series, even though I think it's going to be a bow. I know both teams traded. They traded home and aways this year, so both teams
I
lost and
think
won at home.
Yeah, I think Randall is the key to this series. It's
Absolutely,
not Nas.
I agree with
If
that.
Randall shows up and keeps playing like he's been playing,
It's going to be tough. Now it's going to be pretty
it's
close. I don't think there's going to be any blowouts. I'm for sure. I don't, unless it's like the closeout game, like actually not even closeout game. If the Wolves are up 2-0 going to game three, I believe a blowout is coming in game three. The rest of the games are going to be highly contested. It's going to come down to like the last 4 or 5 possessions,
yeah.
which
I agree. I
I
agree
can
with you,
see.
man.
Now I can see 5, but I'm
Yeah,
if I'm wrong, I'm
I can
wrong.
see it. I can see it, but like I just don't. I don't see that team like letting a four. I could see a gentleman sweep, yes, but 4-0, I don't see them doing that because like they were down 2-0 with the Joker in them. You
Yeah,
feel me? And
yeah.
it was like they fought their way
No, they
back.
went down
You
2-0.
know?
They went one
Okay,
one.
well,
They
no,
went
yeah,
1-1.
1-1,
Yeah,
1-1, then
and
they
then they
went
went
2-1,
1-1
2.
again.
But it's like
Yeah,
there were instances in a couple of them games where it's like y'all could have been down this
they could have
instance,
been
vice
down
versa.
4-0 for sure. They could have definitely.
So I just don't see it because I think it evenly they match up very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whose second option, third option steps up because I think Ant and Shea gonna even each other out.
Yeah,
So does Julius Randle outperform Jalen Williams? And then the next thing would be like Nas outplays Chet or whoever you feel like is going to be the third option for each team.
yeah.
So I think that's going to be the difference.
It's gonna be the battle of the old men: Alex Caruso and Mike Conley.
Hey, shit, Mike, Mike step up like he did in
Hey
in the
man,
closeout game.
Mike.
That's gonna be a good play.
It's gonna be fun, man. I think it's gonna be a good. I think for sure the Easter series is. Oh no, the both series should be pretty fun to watch for their own reasons. You have the young up and comers for sure out of Minnesota
Yeah.
OKC. These are last year's 1 and 2 seeds out of the West. Um,
Hmm.
Minnesota dealt with some injuries that I feel for sure that this is the most 2 seeded 6 seed ever. Like I think a lot of teams in the West benefited from Minnesota being, having a lot of injuries early on, especially like Julius Randle. He really didn't come back until February, um, and then
Hmm.
about that mid to late March time, that's when he finally like you could tell he was back. He was like 100%, and that's when they started turning up. Like month and a half of the season, the Wolves were a completely different team. I think
Yeah,
they were 24
it
and
was.
4 or something like that, or something like something crazy. Like that's a for a long stretch of time 24 and 4, and then you wind up being a 6 seed.
Yeah, but that just shows you how the West was.
Yeah,
It
the
was
West is
so
strong,
close
man.
that one win, one loss could move you four places.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was just an even balanced year just on what was going on.
Yeah,
So,
seeds 3 through 8, I think, were within 1 or 2 games of each other. So it's pretty interesting to see that. But I mean, that's been the West since Jordan retired, basically
hmm
since like 1990. I mean, or
yeah,
1999, excuse me. So I mean, and speaking on since Jordan retired in the West, it kind of
yeah.
leads me into this.
I feel like this year was a lot of. It's been probably one of the better. It was like one of the better balances. But again, there's always the West has always had like that 3 through 8, 3 through 9, 3 through 10
Yeah,
could be like a battle, and
I mean, there's
you're
been
just
yeah, I
like,
mean,
oh
hell,
hey,
that '09, what was that, the 2008 2009 season, where all 8 teams in the playoffs in the West were 50-win teams,
yeah,
and the East had 4 50-win teams. So
facts.
but that's kind of normal. I mean, a lot of times the West has teams that are like 6, 7, 8 seeds that are probably a 4, 5, 6 seed, and if they were placed in the East with the same record. So,
Right. Nah,
um,
that's facts.
and that kind of actually caveats to something I've been seeing a lot. I don't know what talking head brought this up, but it's been coming up on my For You page on TikTok. And in these bronze sexuals, man, they like hear it and they parrot it. We gotta stop talking about how weak the East was during Bronze era and talk about how dominant he was over the last 5 years. There hasn't been a single back to back finals appearance from any of these. I'm like, well, first off, the team that won when Bron left was Kawhi led, so that changes that conversation. He went to LA afterwards. Next was Giannis. Um, that was a team that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, true.
And then we had no, sorry. Team that won right after was Toronto, and then who was 2019? Who's the 2019 champion?
That's Toronto.
It was that 2018, 2019. Okay, so then we had LA, so then the Lakers, and then you
Yeah,
had
because the
Giannis,
bubble.
and then
And
you
then you
had
Giannis,
Golden
the
State,
Warriors.
and then you
And
had
then
Denver,
yep.
and then you
Yeah,
had
Denver.
Boston.
And you got Boston. Yeah.
And I get it. Jason Tatum in his young career until this year has only ever known the Eastern Conference Finals. And I'm not going to sit here and say that LeBron James wasn't dominant. But what we will not do is we won't skew facts that exist. When two things add up, teams see multiple championship runs. When the best player is on the best team.
Sure.
These LeBron sexuals seem to forget that LeBron James went to an NBA Finals and then for 3 years didn't even touch an NBA Final. It wasn't until 2011 that he actually had that finals run, and then he went on. Then I went on that big run. It was a big run, but
hmm
we've throughout the history of the game, yes, no one has been to uh 8 straight. No one's been 8 straight. Some people have been to
He's
six
got
straight.
that's
You
not
know,
gonna really be done.
Jordan went. If you really could think about it, Jordan did go to 6 straight. He went to 3 in a row, retired for a year and a half. I understand he came back and played in the playoffs after
hmm
17 games. It counts. I get it. It counts. But he played baseball for a year and a half. That's a completely different sport. He wasn't really in basketball shape by the time they were playing the playoffs. 17 games doesn't give you
Nope.
enough time to get into basketball shape, especially after a year and a half. Then he went to another 3. Bill Russell, if I'm not mistaken, went to 6 straight. Then not law. He lost in the Eastern Conference Finals, but he never lost the finals. So we've seen these spurts. Magic and them went to 5 straight. Bird and them basically went to 3 straight. Like we've
Bill
seen
Russell's
stretches.
was 12. Yeah, he made 12 during his 13-year career.
Yep.
And they won 11 out of his 12.
So then he had a split at 9 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've seen someone do 9 before, which is pretty crazy.
And like I said, Golden State run, we did 5 straight.
And I said 9, or I said 8. I meant to say because he went to no, he didn't go to 10 straight. What if he didn't go to 10 straight finals? LeBron didn't go to 10 straight finals, did he? Am I tripping on that number?
No, LeBron did. LeBron was all the way in the finals up until the one time he went in the finals was 2019.
Okay, and then he went because he didn't go in 09. Because 09 was the year that it was supposed to be Kobe and him, and he collapsed against
Mm-hmm.
the Celtics.
Yeah. And then you got to remember the Heat went 4.
Yep.
The Heat went 4. They won 2. Then he went to Cleveland, and Cleveland was in there the next 5, the next 4. So he went to 8. He went to 8.
8 straight. Why do
Went to
people
8.
keep saying 10? Like I keep hearing people talking about 10.
He's been to 10 finals.
Yeah, but he went
He's
to 8
been to
straight.
10.
So we've seen this
He's been
happen
8
before.
straight.
We've seen it. We've seen a split like this.
Yeah. Like he's been
And I
to,
understand it was 9 teams like that. I mean, obviously, let's be real. The more
yeah,
teams there
because
are, the lower your probability of
before with the
going.
Heat, they went to because they lost to the Spurs, they lost to the Mavericks. And then he went to back to Cleveland. Cleveland went the next 4. He lost 3. He won 1. And then we lost to Toronto that following year. And then they won in the bubble. They won in the bubble. And then yeah, he went to 8 straight. He's been to 10 overall.
Yeah, I know that much. Yeah, he's been a 10 because he's 4 and
Yeah, he's
6.
been to 10 overall.
So
Because
8
he's
straight. I
lost to the
mean,
Spurs twice.
again, no one in the modern era has done 8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because the Celtics won 8 in a row. From 58 to 65, 66, they won 8 titles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 in a row there. So we've seen it before, but not with 30 teams. It was 9 teams or 12 teams at that time. I get it. Different era, different amount of teams, so harder probability of actually making that type of run. But we've seen other stars make these kind of runs, and let's be real. Everyone has said it. If Jordan doesn't retire, they probably go to 8, and he probably has 8 titles total. It didn't happen, so the Rockets got there too. I'm not trying to knock what that Rockets team was different. They did have some advantages
It would have
against
been
the
a great series
Bulls.
to
It'd have been a
watch.
great series if they had played those Bulls, especially that second year. They'd have played the Bulls that second year
Mm-hmm.
where they didn't have Horace Grant, and they didn't have Dennis Rodman that year yet either. It would have made for an interesting series that kind of would have probably favored the Rockets. And I'm as an MJ guy, I'm willing to admit that. Like that's what I can do. I could be objective, and I feel like a lot of Bron fans can't be objective to this stuff. Like they just make these fantasy things out of nowhere. And yeah,
And
he was dominant for sure. But throughout the history of the game, when you're the best player on the team, when you're the best player in the NBA, and you're on the number 1, you're on the best team in your conference, the likelihood of you making several is there. Tatum hasn't been on the best team in the conference every year since they won. I mean, they only won 1 last year. They were the number 2 seed this year. Like they weren't even the best team in the regular season wise at all. I understand Miami had some seasons where they're number 2 seed, but he also has 3 guys. One guy who had been there already on that stack team.
right.
So, because I don't even think the year Boston won theirs, I don't think that was their first year together. I don't think they were the 1 seed either. I'm checking right now.
Which one?
Were
This the most recent one?
No, they were the 1 seed. No, the 08.
Oh wait.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
that
the
was
1
it for
seed.
sure.
They were the 1 seed out of the East. They had 6 wins. They went crazy.
That team was put together very well.
And
What
also
nothing said about it.
let's be fair. Jason Tatum is also not the best player in the NBA, and a lot of people like myself, I don't think he's the best player on his team. So you're not really comparing apples to apples here. It's a little different. I mean, LeBron James was hands down the best player in the NBA For that stretch that he was going on that run, on those runs, he was the best player in the NBA. By far,
Agreed.
the best player in the NBA.
Agreed. There's wasn't no
On a number
debating
one or
that.
number two seed team, his odds of making the NBA Finals is pretty high because statistically and historically, that's always been the case. The Lakers went to 4, and they had Shaq, who was the best player in the NBA at the time, and then they went to 3 a few years later when it was just Kobe, because Kobe was the best player in the NBA. Jordan did it.
Best player in the NBA. LeBron did it
I
during the
can't.
time where he was the best player in the NBA.
The Dream was the best player in the NBA the 2 years Jordan was out the league.
Facts.
Yeah.
No questions.
So he went to 2
No
back to
questions.
back those 2 years. So I mean, it's all there. Historically, we can look at this stuff and see it now. You do have some peppering of things. You know, the Spurs, Tim Duncan wasn't the best player in the NBA or considered
But
the
they
best
were a
player.
put together team.
But let's be real. Looking at it, Tim Duncan was probably the second best player in the NBA, if not the best player in the NBA, because his win rate was definitely better than Kobe Bryant's
Hmm.
during their times when they had
Right.
their, years where they were going back to backs when they went to 3 or 4 in a row. So yeah, they went to no. Did they go in 4 in a row because they lost to the Pistons? Right? Is that who lost the Pistons?
That was the
That was
Lakers.
the
That was
Lakers.
that. That
That
was
was
that
that
high
third
ass.
year. Yeah,
Yeah. That was that when the
third
Lakers
fourth
was
year. Yeah,
everybody's talking all that. Oh, they about to go undefeated looking ass.
yeah. That was it. Let's see. Where's the Spurs at in this playoff series? Yeah, because they went to a few. So just trying to remember them all. It's been shit. I mean, goddamn, that was 20 years ago almost. Some of these.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like I'm so sick. I'm just look. When greatness retires, it does suck. But I think the NBA is in good hands. Seeing what we're seeing with guys like Shea, Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Joker, Luca, um, Wimbiana's on the way up. Like there's a lot of young talent that will carry the league once Bron gets out, and I think they're going to do it. They're going to make the league better. One is they're going to revert back to the Jordan time because that's
Hmm.
what it's looking like. It's super competitive, like real competitive, where guys, even though they let's say they're not like hateful of each other, because I don't think there was anybody other than maybe Isaiah and Jordan maybe had their issue, but I don't really think that there was guys who like absolutely hated the superstar on the other team. And maybe the Pacers and Patrick Ewing, like Reggie and those guys. And there was like little 1 or 2 guys that had real issues with each other. Ron Artest and Ben Wallace and those Pacers Pistons years. But there wasn't like a true hatred throughout the whole league. And I feel it's kind of the same. Like I think Tyrese and maybe I don't know, maybe Giannis got issues. I don't know if it's a big beef there because Giannis
Not
doesn't seem
really.
like a super
It's
hateful
more
guy.
just. I don't think that was really beef. It's just more. Eh.
Dad getting involved was crazy work. Now
Yeah, I
they
think
get
that's just
banned,
talk.
get banned from the whole thing. I'm trying to think. Is there a beef that we can think about that exists? I mean, other than
Like
maybe
now?
Draymond and Gobert,
Yeah, like
but
now?
that's not a
No, ain't
superstar
nothing
beef.
like. I would say nothing like that. Nah,
Yeah,
I don't think there's really anything like that. I think it's just like stuff people are
but these
trying to
guys want to
talk
take each
about.
other's heads off. Like it's very apparent these guys are out here trying to kill. Was Anthony Edwards said it a couple last year. I'm just gonna kill whatever they put in front of me. And that's the mentality I want to see. Like as a guy who competed his entire life, just competitive nature guy, I want to see that. I'm not trying to see no buddy stuff. No, go right now. If I see this dude in basketball shorts and I'm in basketball shorts and someone rolls the ball out, I'm going to try to kill him. And he's gonna try to
He
kill me
he new school hooper, but he has the mentality of, and we could be cool off the
after the
court
game.
after the game,
Yeah. Not
but
before
during the
and
game,
during the game.
I don't like you. I don't mess with you. It's it's on.
Yeah, I love
And
it. I love that mentality. It's so exciting. I mean, it's exciting for me to see one, he's playing in Minnesota, but two, like even if he played in any other franchise and having this mentality, I would love to see that. Like these, that's it. Um, so I think they're going to go backwards a little bit in the mentality, but it's going to push the game forward in the long run. Um, and we're going to get out of this soft era that that LaFlop done kind of created or has been instrumental of in making. So I mean, call it
Yeah.
like it is. You call me a hater if you want. Like let's be real. It's not as competitive as it was under
It,
Kobe's
it's not
time.
as
We're
competitive,
seeing
and
it in
it's
All
gotten
Star
and
games.
it's
We're seeing it
soft.
in dunk
Like
contests.
it's way softer and not as competitive as it used to
No,
be.
and,
Like
and he's the
guys,
face of. And
the
I'm not saying. Oh, he's the one who forced this kind of era.
yeah, no, he's
He's the
not.
face of
It's
the
just
league, and when you're the face of the league, whatever direction you want to go, look at when Kobe was the face of the league. It was super competitive. It was a competitive league. Guys were going after each other. Look at MJ's
hmm
league. Same thing. Even Magic and Bird, like they didn't hate each other. They barely knew each other. I mean, they played as teammates for a college like an All American run, and they enjoyed each other's time. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird did a commercial together, and then on in Indiana and Magic had dinner at Larry Bird's house, like and met his mom, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and they became friends in the sense of like off the court we could be cool, but on the court you could see that they really was after each other. They really wanted to smoke, like so we had that even with Bill and Wilt Chamberlain. Go all the way back to Bill and Wilt Chamberlain's days. They had dinner the night before, but they get on that court is kill or be killed.
right. No,
So yeah, I
it's
want to.
this is how it
That's what I
is.
want in all my sports. I don't want it to be friendly. Like we're not here to make friends, and I'm here to win a game. My stuff matters. I want to be in the conversation, like personally. I want to be in the conversation for the greatest of all time. That's what I'm trying to play for. Or I want to be one of the best six men ever. I don't know. But some of these guys just trying to get the bag, and then they're cool with that, which is fine. But I'm trying to see people out to like compete, man. So I'm excited what's going to come in the NBA in these next couple of years as these young guys are taking over the league.
Right. No, we're gonna see. I think we in good hands as in like going forward.
Yeah,
I don't think we're in a bad place where people are like, oh, y'all are gonna have a drop off, shit like that.
I
No,
think
we have.
honestly, I think the viewership is going to go up because
I think
there's a
the
lot
ch-
of people who are
and
not watching NBA because of how they feel about LeBron James and this whole flopping thing. And when the face of the league is
that
not
and
interested
just
in
some
flopping,
others and some other people
people
too.
follow.
Like
I mean, there's a lot of people who do. I mean, looking at Shea and Jalen Brunson, basically foul
Harden.
bait, Harden, Trey, Trey Young. Like it's there. It's not just Bron, but you're the face of the league and you lead by example, even if you're not trying to lead by example that way. And you know how I feel. Like I feel LeBron James is so damn talented that you shouldn't need to do that. I get it. You get mauled out there, but Shaquille
Yeah.
O'Neal was getting mauled out there too, and you wasn't
Jamal
seeing
ain't
him.
even the word.
He wasn't seeing
That
him. Yeah, he was. He was. Yeah. I mean, they was doing everything with bludgeoning them with kitchen sinks. You know what I'm saying? So but we weren't seeing Shaquille O'Neal flopping on the ground and throwing his body everywhere in the sense of trying to get a foul call. He was like, okay, I'm gonna get hit
hmm
anyway. I'm still gonna put this elbow. I'm gonna hit you with this forearm. I'm gonna try to
What you
put
do
you
to
in the
me, I'm
rim.
gonna do two times more
Yeah.
to the person guarding me
Yep.
or you when you come down this lane. That's
Absolutely.
what Shaq's mentality was.
Absolutely. So, and I get it. I mean, Shaq's
Different
career,
time of the game,
different time of the
different time of the
game,
game though too.
different. I mean, Shaq is definitely a much bigger human being than LeBron James, but LeBron James is a pretty big guy, pretty super fit guy, and I just don't want to see that. It's the same thing with Luca. Like I don't want to. I don't like foul baiters. You're too talented. Luca is too talented to me to be out here trying to get BS calls. Like I get it, selling a call, you get hit and you have to sell it a little bit to get the call. 100% understand that. But when you're foul baiting to get a call and then you're selling the call on top of that, I ain't trying. Go be an actor, bro. Get out the NBA. Go be the next Denzel Washington. Go and be the next Ryan Reynolds. Go be the next Samuel L. Jackson. Chadwick Boseman. Go Michael B. Jordan. Angela Bassett. Viola Davis. I mean, I could keep naming names. Go beat him. Get out the league, son.
Nigga said get out the league. I'm fucking crying.
Yeah, he could be a better actor than most actors. Goddamn it! Like I'm not
hmm
trying to see that, bro. And I don't think most fans are. I mean, we watch it for the love of the game, but a lot of the casual fans are like done, and that's some of the reasons we're probably seeing these numbers be as low as they are. But I do think
Yeah.
we're going to see some big numbers, man. If it's
Like you
Minnesota, New
said,
York,
it's no excite it's there's not really too much excitement for
yeah,
them. Like you said, we don't have these top tier matchups, these top tier, the rivalries that make us want to tune in even more. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We'll get,
And you
I
know me,
think
I do
this
not care for big. I don't care for the mecca, like the big media play. You know, your New Yorks, your Boston's,
mhm,
Chicago's,
big
Detroit's,
markets,
big
yeah,
market,
big
LA's.
markets, yeah,
I'm not interested in them because on a natural media listener, they talk so much about LA and New York, and none of these teams have won. I mean, I know LA won in 2020, but outside, and then you got the Dodgers, winning their second in 5 years as well. But
fuck the
yeah,
Dodgers.
yeah, yeah. You can say that again louder for those in the back if
And
you
just
want.
it's just fuck the Dodgers. So
There you
I
go.
don't care.
You heard it here first and second, and I'll say it third. Fuck the Dodgers. Because I don't like the Dodgers either. But I mean, the Yankees hadn't sniffed a World Series since what, 2015,
Since early,
2016. So and
it's
and
been
the
a minute.
media constantly talk, oh, they're World Series favorites out there getting blasted by the Astros. And don't talk to me about the Astros cheated because there was a letter that got sealed, and come to find out, the Dodgers and the Yankees was also doing it. They were doing it differently than the Astros. So you can miss me with that nonsense. And both of y'all
Hey
lost
man,
in 7 games
bump it.
at home.
In sports, you cheat in some way somehow at some
I mean, if
point.
you're not cheating, you're not trying. Not that I am, I'm agreeing with cheating, but if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I mean, that's a saying for a reason, especially in baseball. That's literally littered in cheating scandals.
Exactly.
Let me
It
throughout
really
its
is.
entire history, and the Yankees are up there with the amount of cheating scandals they have. So if you want to go franchise for franchise, they up there. But we're talking basketball right now. We're not talking baseball. Even though baseball season is in the middle of going right now, but we're in basketball.
Hmm.
So, but no, I think we got some good series going on. I'm excited. I'm excited for these series. I've been watching every. I missed a couple games here and there, but I've been keeping
But we
track at
watched every
least. I've
series.
watched every
Yeah,
series for sure. This
for
is
sure.
my favorite time of year is the NBA playoffs. So uh, football's coming up, guys. Football's coming up, which
Hmm.
means college football's up coming up as well. Which will make for some great conversation between two of us. And of course, I'll pull in all the OSU fans. I don't care about y'all. I don't care. I want all the smoke. But we'll talk about that another time. But we're
Hey man,
excited. I finally feel like hey, this is the first year in a long time we got the best QB. But we got to find out what the young fella is though. But hey, like I said, we'll talk about that later. I just want to throw that out there. Uh,
I ain't gonna say best QB, but okay.
between the two of us, between
Yeah,
OSU and
10-12.
Michigan, this is the first year I think we
Mm-hmm.
got a better QB.
Y'all might not have the better QB.
Oh, well,
Oh buddy from Bama that transferred over is actually pretty good.
who, the guy who sat behind Jalen Milrows?
Yep.
Hmm, interesting, interesting.
Because he took charge of number one spot right now over the freshman that we had coming in, who was basically the next best quarterback next to Bryce. They were 1-1. They weren't one and
Hmm,
two. Them niggas were 1-1. They gave Bryce a little bit of the edge because of how Bryce is built.
interesting. Well, we'll talk more about this at a later date. I'm excited.
But
We're gonna
I
go ahead
don't
and put
care about
that
none of
pin
that.
that up.
If we don't win, it don't fucking matter.
Oh, don't plan on
So
winning. We're trying to get y'all back. I mean, you guys went on a stretch of about a decade, so we need to get that back in blood. You know what I'm saying? So
we're even on championships this decade. So
we are even on
we're even on
championships
that.
this decade.
We're even on that. That I'm not
But this is
complaining
what I
on. We're
want.
even
This
on
is
this
what I want.
decade.
Like all jokes aside, this is what I want. I want the national title to stay in the Big Ten. That's all I want. I don't want to see
There's a
it go to the
chance.
SEC for sure. I want it to be in the Big Ten for as long as we can keep it, because F the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you not wrong? I just It's gonna be tough, but I think we can. I think y'all should have a bounce back year. We should be fine. I think Oregon should be fine too. Like I said, they have a quarterback that's gonna step in and be perfectly. They're not gonna have like a fall off, in my opinion. So yeah,
And I'm really
I
hope
think they'll
like
be
I
all right.
understand that Notre Dame is staying independent, but man, I would really like Notre Dame to be in the Big Ten,
It'd be lovely because they have a lot of
and I think they have a promising coach.
we have a lot of matchups from there.
Yeah,
Because like I said, them versus USC, they have them versus like
us, you
us.
guys.
Those you got. So it's like they
Uh,
have like a lot of teams that they had used to be that were our rivalries that are in the Big Ten.
yeah, but they also
But
have a
like
lot
the
of rivalries in
biggest
the
one,
ACC too.
they do. But like some of their biggest ones
But
is
I do
them
think
versus
it's crazy that
USC.
their football program is independent, but their basketball all their other sports are ACC.
Exactly. I think it because football was so long and football had the
I mean, football is the
recognition.
breadwinner.
Yep, and they've had the recognition for so long for that, so it's kind of like I don't think they will ever change that being in conference. If they do, it had to be like they would have to they would have to realign everything though. I think that's the main thing. I think they're able to get away with is because football is such much a breadwinner. They can stay independent.
Right.
All the other ones needed to be in a conference because I think they have to realign that. So if they were to bring football in
Because
Big
we have
Ten, I
what
think they would
16
have to
teams in our
move.
conference right now, or 15.
I think it's up to 16
I think
now.
it's 16 too. I don't feel like counting. Well,
So
okay, well,
I think we'd
that'd
have
be another
to you'd have
conversation
to
for
bring
another day.
in, but I'm saying is yeah, you'd have to switch everybody over though.
I
They'd
mean,
have to
but we're
switch all
also
the
no
sports
longer
to
doing
Big
the
Ten.
divisions though. We're not doing East and West.
Right.
So best teams with the best record in the conference as far as conference plays go will be playing for the conference title. So
Thank God.
yeah, I mean, I don't know why we were East and West for so damn long. Like
Well, it's because we had enough teams to do that, and it made sense. Now we have like 16 teams. It doesn't make sense because now you'll have the instances like we've had over those years where it'll be like two teams in the same conference have one loss, and it had been in that conference. It's in that side. Now you
yeah,
have to go sit and watch a three-loss
yeah, because the
team
East was by
playing
far
the
better than the
championship.
West, by far. I mean,
Yes,
because I had Penn State, Michigan, and um,
us,
OSU.
Iowa, and I think
Iowa
no,
had a
Iowa
couple
was on the other
years.
side.
No, was
I was on
Iowa?
the other
No,
side though.
Iowa was on the other side. They were West
Yeah, they
because
would
that was like
always end up being there because
Minnesota. That was Minnesota. That was Indiana.
yeah, because Iowa would end up being
Yeah.
that random team. Iowa was always that team that ended up having like two or three losses and playing in the championship, or it'd be like that random years you had Wisconsin with either like one or two losses, like with the years with Russ there and then Melvin Gordon and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So and
I
stuff.
mean,
So yeah,
it
it's
makes for an interesting dynamic because then, I mean, the game is important. The game is the most important game in college football lore by far. So, I mean, it's called the game for a reason. So, but now, both teams. I mean, we saw it this year that I know
hmm
Michigan wasn't in the race for the playoffs, but uh, we saw what the first iteration of that game didn't equal OSU not being in the playoff at all. So
Hey, look, I like the format. I like the extended playoff format because it gives. We're starting to get to that point where we are. I think there's going to be some tweaks, but I think we're at that point where now we can get some of those hearsays out where it's like, hey,
yeah,
teams here X, Y, and Z could have potentially beat them.
yeah, for sure,
Now it's like, nah, line that up, and if they lose, they lose.
yeah, for sure. It does. I mean, it's. I don't know if 12 is enough. 12, maybe 12 is perfect. I don't know.
I think 12 is
I
there. I
think
don't
12.
think we should have.
It's no more than 16. Obviously, it shouldn't be more than. I mean, there's so many
Yeah,
college teams. I think 16 is probably too much. But I
yeah,
like
because it's
12
like
or
you
14.
would have
Maybe
to.
14. 14 is probably
I think for
good enough.
16, they would have to cut off. You would have to cut a week off in the season, maybe.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because now it's like it's already some teams. Like example, you may have to play 3 to 4 games just to get to the championship. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And a championship run. That's a lot of extra
That is a
games.
lot of
So
extra
that's why I said
games.
like you'd probably have to
Yeah,
cut off
12
a
might be
game in the
perfect.
season.
12 is a pretty good number. I
Yeah,
think 12. It's better than 4. I can tell you that much.
facts.
4 was way
It
too
definitely
low.
is. Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll end it there. I'll probably talk to you in the next couple of days. Actually, before this episode ends, I'm going to shout out Junebug because Junebug had his mom call me. He refers to me as Uncle Keith. And he ain't called me or text me when his boy Luka and LeBron was playing against the Timberwolves. He ain't had nothing to say to me. But now all of a sudden he's riding with this Canadian talking about Shea gonna send Ant-Man home. And so June, when you see this, because I'm gonna make sure your mama show you this, and she told you because I seen her at work today. I will be seeing you on Saturday, young man. Uncle Keith is gonna treat you to a nice dinner for the game in Minnesota. We're not gonna be in Minnesota. We're gonna go out to eat wherever. And I know you like your wings and stuff, but we're gonna go on Saturday, and you better hope and pray that the Wolves are not up 2-0 going into Minnesota. Because you think you have crazy uncles until you really, really deal with your crazy uncle. You done woke up the wrong beast, youngin'. You got to know who to
Don't
talk
watch me
trash
watch
to
TV.
and who not to talk trash to. And I'm not the one, young boy. And you'll go find out.
Mm-hmm.
So you better hope and pray it's 1-1 going into Minnesota or 2-0. I don't think it's going to be 2-0 in favor of Thunder. You better hope and pray. You better hope.
Type shit.
But we'll holler at you as always. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We out.